to show you like actually inside QuickWrite and what it is and why I personally am enjoying it, some of the drawbacks, that kind of stuff. So QuickWrite at the moment is $197 for a lifetime license. You will get all their updates and you won't ever have to pay anything more. I like this, number one, because their price is going up to, I think, $297 in a couple of weeks. But not only that, most of the AI, there's free things right now like ChatGPT and things like that. But the word on the street, what I'm hearing a lot of is that since these things are in beta, they're free. But what's coming with the next wave of AI is that all of this AI we've been using for free, they're going to start charging monthly subscriptions for. QuickWrite will end up on a monthly subscriptions. The creators have already acknowledged that. And so then you're paying a monthly fee, which can range anywhere. I've seen prices thrown around between $15 and $50 per month for AI tools that creators and marketers have really gotten used to using. And so there's that kind of consideration, is getting it now gives you the opportunity to keep the one-time price, which again, I'm a fan of. But how do we use this darn thing? Well, I think it's pretty cool. They have the Academy, which has like a bunch of YouTube like videos that you can see. But I think that this is cool because it is very focused specifically on authors and books. So I wanted to show you some of the ways you can use that. You've got these options of kind of how you're using it, and you get all of them when you buy QuickWrite. They have an AI image, which is actually creating images. I'm still a little out on the copyright on that because that's art that's being kind of used. You can certainly use it if you'd like. That one I probably wouldn't use as much, but I do like things like blog writing. So if I've got to write a blog, I can say I need to brainstorm article ideas, book marketing, and I just type it in and then I'll generate content. And it will come up with a list of ideas. So last week we talked about kind of the idea of ethical uses of AI. For me, I believe this is an ethical use because I can brainstorm, I can get ideas, but I'm not asking it to write for me. I'm not depending on it to be my creativity or my fact checker. I'm asking for ideas. And it's running a little bit slow probably because I'm also on Zoom and sharing screens, but you can see I just typed in book marketing and it spit out 19 ideas of possible book marketing blog ideas, the ultimate guide to self-publishing and book marketing, how to build a strong book marketing platform, the tactics that help me sell 10,000 copies of my self-published book. Now, am I going to use any of these exactly? Probably not, maybe, but it may give me ideas of things that I do want to research and I do want to start writing a blog about. So I like that it's kind of someone to brainstorm off of and push ideas off of. You can also do a blog intro, a blog outline. So I could say create an outline for an article on how to use QuickWrite for authors. And then it will generate an outline. Now, part of this in all AI, you guys, I mean, we've talked about this, you've seen this, it's all about knowing what to input. But I do think because this is very specific to authors and writers, that the prompts that they give you and kind of these drop down boxes that narrow in the focus make it more user friendly. So here we go. Here's their suggestion of an outline for how to use QuickWrite for authors. Understanding the concept of QuickWrite for authors, the benefits, preparing yourself for quick writing. I think that's kind of funny. So you can see this, like, I'm not going to take this and just use it as is. That would be a mistake and I would not look very professional because it's not a human. It doesn't know that some of these things don't work, but it gives me something to start from. Then I wanted to show you the book description. So I've got Amy Collins' book, The Right Way, and I'm just going to take kind of part of the blurb here. So let's say you're noodling around with your synopsis, your marketing copy, and you're like, man, I'm stuck. I know we talked about this last week and how it can be hard. So you can, I just chose nonfiction writing, create a book title, create a book description. So let's say I want to create a book description. It asks for the title of your book, The Right Way, and then describe your book in a short phrase. So I could simply say self-publishing guide. I could do that, and it'll kind of give me a generic thing. Again, this is not going to be like, it's perfect, I'm going to use it, but it may give me some language that I'm like, oh yeah, that is very compelling. I should work that in. So it's a tool to use. It's not something I would just copy and paste over and say, I'm done. But I've said before, I have a really hard time starting with a blank page. I do much better when I have something on the page to start with. And this provides that for me. And that's why I like it, because it's like a brainstorming tool. So you can see they have literally pulled up a book description just from self-publishing guide and talking about manuscript submissions, only to receive rejection after rejection. Do you dream of seeing your book in print but don't know where to start? Look no further than The Right Way. And so you can see how they are using language and things that I may go, oh yeah, that really works for me. I should be using that. I've also taken, so remember, I actually copied that kind of one-liner. So I'm going to give it more specific direction on what I want in this description, because I'm actually going to pull part of the marketing blurb that I've already written for this book. And that's going to give me new things. And this works for fiction as well. So for me, it's a tool I use a lot. If you have a single book and you're only ever going to have a single book, maybe it's not going to be as valuable for you. But if you are writing and brainstorming, I think it's not only a fun tool, but a helpful tool. And if you are doing a lot of content writing, a lot of blogs, and things like that, that definitely will make a difference as well. So you can see I've got new copy based on the new information I put in, and that it's more detailed, more specific to what I was already doing based on that. So again, I think that it's just one of those things where I'm like, okay, I feel like it gives us some cool information. And I like it. I mean, I won't lie, I like it. I do think that you could use this in a way that was not fully ethical. I do think, like, again, I'm kind of on the edge of the AI image, because you can do this. So create an AI image. I would like an illustration. And what should I make? I should make a smiling cup of coffee. That's what I'm going to generate, and it will make one. Now, I did a dog eating a watermelon the other day, and I will say that my dog had ears, and it also had cat ears. So, but here we go. I have a smiling cup of coffee. Did it pull this from somewhere? Absolutely, it did. Was that sourced? Was that sourced and given credit to the author? Were they paid for their work? I don't know. And that's why I'm kind of on the fence about this, because this isn't creating an image and then making it your own or getting brainstorming ideas. This is creating an image that you potentially would just go use. And I personally am not okay with that at this point. Some people are, a lot of people are. The difference that I see is when using the editor and things like that is that I'm using it as a brainstorming. I'm using it as a piece of the puzzle, not just using it as there it is. So that's my personal take on using AI ethically. That's why I do like this tool. So I'll just show you real quick. Power Editor is like everything. If you don't know how to categorize your writing, it's in there. Fiction writing, nonfiction writing. You've got marketing, promotion, or business. I do think this one's really interesting because each of these have different drop-down prompts. So this one has business or product name. Maybe you're kind of trying to decide on your publishing and print name. You would have to be really careful that you weren't getting something that was already in use, but it may jumpstart creativity business plan, video sales letter, tagline. I actually did use the tagline for a headline in a description the other day. I didn't use it exactly as it was, but it got me started. Social media post, Twitter post. So this is kind of fun because I could say, what are you creating a Twitter post for? Free free publishing advice. And I can put it in there. And again, I could kind of use that for Twitter and for marketing. So it's got a lot of cool I can't talk. It's got a lot of cool uses, especially if you have a harder time coming up with content. And it even gives you hashtags for Twitter, which I really enjoy. And maybe I use it exactly as it is, maybe I revise it, but I think it's a nice tool to have. Blog writing, translate content. Be very, very careful because what you translate may not actually be correct. It may be technically correct, but not fully correct. So you can use these things, but definitely have it read by someone who is native in a native speaker, or definitely speaks that language well before just using that. Terrible mistakes have been made when you just auto translate. And then you can rewrite content. So let's say, all right, let's say I want to rewrite this tweet. I'm like, okay, great. Or maybe I wrote something. I wrote a blog conclusion that I didn't really like and I wanted to rewrite it. You can drop that in there. So uses for fiction, nonfiction, for marketing, for blogs. And you can see, it reminds me, this one reminds me of Quillbot. It like paraphrased essentially. So it gives us some strong call to action, some language that we might have not thought of otherwise. So again, that's available from QuickWrite. QuickWrite at the moment is $197 through June 16th. Then it'll go up to $297, but only if you use someone's someone's affiliate link. Otherwise, if you just go to their website, I know they're moving to a subscription model. All right. So I wouldn't just cover that because I had questions after last week. If you have follow-up questions, email me, info@newshelves.com. I know we have questions this week we didn't get to answer, and I'm so sorry, but if you email me, we will answer those next week, and we'll see you then. Bye, guys. Have a great weekend.